process, basically. That's it. Like, what do you feel is That's it.
Like,
hey, you only got 1 minute left.
So he the guard, realistically. That's what I asked him. I said, so what does Hawkins say? He said, you only got 1 minute.
Perfect.
Imagine being okay, Grover, you in the cell next to him and you hear this exchange. Malak done went to pee. The nigga said, you got a minute left.
We gotta smash the window.
Okay, you gonna get out of there.
What?
They finna whoop you. They finna come in and whoop you.
Niggas gotta find the Shawshank.
The Shawshank.
Niggas gotta get up. What?
Hey, bro, weird as it sounds, I think I'm moving. I ain't fucking. You got 43 seconds.
I think I'm going to war, bro. I'm about to say.
They not doing anything in that war, like.
Best of luck to y'all, yo.
But see, look, in a war, nigga, look, you can low key see that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, remember you a black dude. You a black dude get out of the
So is y'all going to war?
I'm going to war and I'm giving them the slip.
Or you gonna stay in
I'm shaking and baking.
I'm not staying. No, I ain't staying 9 years in Ukraine. I mean,
They all sitting there, what's going on?
He said they fastened them out there. I heard some crazy shit over there. You might and a black man in Ukraine?
Yeah.
Well, bro, they're not even like. Remember when all that shit was going down there? Wasn't even back on the trains to get away with. She was getting they was holding on.
Oh, you right. No, they was. No, that's
trains.
See, like that's what I'm saying. Bro. They all getting brought up. They
Well, if he's talking about his head's getting bit off in jail, I'm definitely going to war. I'm not even gonna get my shit bit off.
Yeah, I don't know what's.
Wait till he goes to bed. What?
I'm looking. No, I know. First of all, me and Cellmate don't need talk.
Wow.
So I'm hoping he takes the time. I hope
You trying to make a friend?
I'm hoping he leaves.
Wow.
I'm hoping he leave and take the what's it called. But realistically, I'm probably gonna go too.
Hell no,
That's
I ain't
crazy.
staying in that goddamn jail. Them niggas can jump you. They can talk about jumping you all day.
You don't even know. Yeah,
You don't even know.
Sleep like what?
You getting jumped every day.
That's it. Like they gonna bite off your
That's
head.
I'm going.
Off your way.
Bro, what the fuck are they doing in Ukraine? Biting heads?
No boy said.
Niggas' heads getting bit off,
He
bro.
said it's niggas full-fledged.
They got baths.
It's just about life process. Like,
No, hell yeah, it's very important.
yeah, like what do you guys feel about the life process, basically? That's it. Like, what do you feel is That's it, man. Take it. Say some shit, bro.
What do I think about the life process, bro?
What I think
You
about the
already
process
said
of
it,
life.
man. Go.
What I think about the
Like,
process of
my
life.
boy hit my boy Grover with an interview question. He said, so, Grover, so what do you think about the process of life here at IBM? IBM, like, bro, Z. I'm trying to give my words. I mean, you ain't got Z. Why did Kamaru Usman lose again tonight? He said he was gonna remind.
Why don't we watch
Edwards,
it?
we're
so
not
I
going
can
to
see
watch
it?
it because you don't need to watch it. We need to watch it. We don't need to watch no UFC unanimous decision. That's nigga standing up for 15 minutes, punching each other in the side of the head and leaning on the cage. See, why did Usman lose again? You said he was gonna lose the first time. He lost again. Why did he lose again?
Man,
I don't need to watch it to know.
first of all, one.
Unanimous decision say you wasn't on shit. Like what you need to see.
Right. First of all, one. He's getting into a little bit too Hollywood.
Okay, did a podcast before they fought. True.
Not the podcast. He was doing.
He did do a podcast before.
Yeah, I Am Athlete, GQ. He's doing all these things. Like he's a martial artist. At the end of the day, your job is to your process is to be an artist. So that has nothing to do with cameras and lights and everything like that. Like you seeking all that. So, I think that. He seems like a balanced dude though. Like he's a good father. He's a good everything. Like,
Oh, he talking about how good of a person he is in his personal life. I thought we was talking about him being a fighter and why he lost. This week he weak.
He's a really great martial artist for sure. He's a really great martial artist. I just think that Leon Edwards, I feel like
anytime somebody say, yeah, man, he really love his kids, he goes to church, he got nice Instagram captions, you feel me?
Nah.
You're washed like dishes.
You said he's a great guy.
Great guy. He's a great
model citizen.
Come on, great.
Church going.
He is though.
Church going. Whoop our ass up in here, but when it comes to whooping ass in the
no, he is though. Like honestly, like.
Do you think he should have fought a back-to-back rematch with the same person?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. That showed character and heart right there. And then he did it. Like I mean, like that was dope. That was dope for him to do that because, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't do that because it's like so much on the line. You feel me? So him doing that showed a lot. But I just felt like Leon just is skill-wise is just amazing, honestly. So technically sound and everything like that. So that's hard to.
That's what you mean by skill wise, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kamara probably has to switch it up a little bit more, and he probably didn't switch up enough with him. But then also he's a little bit too Hollywood too. But that's just my opinion.
He tripping. You say he tweaking being on TV all the time.
Yeah, like doing. He was on Disney and everything. Nah,
he was on what?
He was on Wakanda.
Oh, he was in the movie. I think he was in Blade Runner 2.
Yeah.
He was in Blade Runner?
He was in Black Panther.
Like, what? Oh! I'm like, wow, Blade Runner? I'm like, he had time to do Blade Runner.
Wait, what? Z.
Nigga said Blade Runner.
So.
They have black people in that movie.
So for the people who hit you, because again, I feel you. So what you talking about is keep the main thing, which is so abundantly important these days.
That's what I'm saying.
But why?
What do you mean?
That's literally what he'll say to you. Like, so that's what I'm thinking. Like in my head, why? Why is it important? In this stage, even though he just lost again, like he still probably tell you like, I didn't lose because I did all that. Mm-hmm. Again, I feel Black Panther. The scene for Black Panther 2, I was in one scene.
They wasn't even looking for Leon in Black Panther. Leon was getting reps in different ways. Like you on Black Panther set, and while Leon is getting mental reps in or physical reps in. Like, yeah.
I feel you, man. I feel you could venture off and do other shit though.
You could, for sure. But I feel like the main.
It's the McGregor effect.
Oh, okay.
See,
so are you in support are you in support of extracurriculars?
Once you get to a certain point, I feel like, remember how I think we was just talking about Rampage, like, you know what I'm saying, and how you start towards the end when you feel like,
so you feel like
once you start to see yourself
dropping off.
Ronda Rousey was smart. Soon as she got her ass whooped twice, she said, "All right, y'all.
I'm a movie star."
WWE.
That was kind of weak too.
Yeah, she should.
That she did it like that?
She might come back.
Yeah.
She ain't been. I'll never come back. They gonna what y'all talking? What they said about the Ukraine eating people's heads? They gonna eat Ronda Rousey's head if she get in that fucking cage again.
No, I don't think she's never coming back.
Never. She shouldn't. I think she should stay.
Cause like bro, when you get beat up, and you either go stand your ass back up, get back in the training room, and you do what you gotta do, or you go curl into a ball. I kind of feel like she took the other route. I mean, granted, she probably happy still, but it's like, I don't know. Mentality wise, like, was she like that if she left like that?
Ooh. Was she like that if she left like look, okay, so look, was she like that if she left like that? That's a bar right there. I like, you've been leaning over there this whole time, first of all. He been leaning over there and shit. And ain't saying nothing. I'm looking at this nigga in his eye, giving him a speech, and this nigga just sitting there chilling, then popped up like somebody's uncle. That was riveting. No, it was riveting. That's why I loved it. Was you like that if you leave like that? That was cold. That's real t-shirt, nigga. But what I'm saying is what you talked about, I think, goes into like you saying her lose. When niggas seen her lose, they said we don't care no more. We'll come get you once they seen her lose. Well, I felt like with him going into this moment against Edwards is like, for example, I've been on that, like, I feel like this. Like one of my philosophies with this shit, especially with sports, is like, if I'm not supposed to beat you, but I beat you once, it's over. Because realistically, like, the edge that you had over me is that I wasn't supposed to be able to beat you because you was better. Your record is greater, or whatever it is, right? You at the height.
Yeah.
But if I'm able to beat you, then realistically for me, going into the second time where you got that burden of having to prove to everybody that you still like that, so to speak, because again, like you saying, like if you leave, I feel like with this situation, like, he didn't have no fear in that belief that the other dude.
Leon?
Yeah, Leon didn't have no fear that Kamaru was that type of dude because he already had beat him the first time.
Yeah.
So like you said, like, you not finna come prove to me that you like that because I actually have no fear. I'm already, again, I wasn't supposed to win and I won the first time.
Right.
Oh yeah, he for sure didn't have that fear anymore.
No.
Yeah.
You think he'll ever get the belt back?
Tomorrow,
Usman.
he probably could.
If, I mean, you gonna fight this nigga 3 times? If you lose a third time,
I was
take another one.
nigga like 3 L's.
2 hours, yeah, like
Y'all can't even fight no
It'll be the
more.
4th time. Yeah.
okay, and then again,
Who
It'll be
fought
the
4
4th
times?
It would be the 4th time. If Leon
They fought 4.
They
This the third time.
It was the 3rd time. If they ever did it again.
Who won the first time? Usman.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
And then boom boom.
Oh, they had fought 4 times?
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that
They
either.
already went 3 times.
Wow.
Wait, this was the 4th.
This
Oh,
is
this
the
is
3rd.
the 3rd.
Wow.
Okay. I see what you said. I didn't know that either. I thought that was
2 in a row and the defense.
Yeah.
and again, remember, he knocked that nigga the fuck out the last time.
Kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah, he kicked that nigga head into the
Tomorrow
crowd.
was winning each round though.
Man.
True that, but that's
That's how
no
many
reason
seconds up
because,
to?
come on. Come on.
That was like that John Jones
was
Daniel Cormier fight. Daniel Cormier was with John Jones. Asked that fight.
Eric,
John
not,
kicked the shit out that nigga.
not to cut you off. Oh yeah, he did. Not to cut you off, but remember, you saying he technical. This is why I fuck with him because you saying he technical. Y'all know I love the little details with this. Ain't gonna win, so I think it's that thing. Once I had that one moment and I get it, especially if it's like you said, like that, and I prove like I'm like that. Now to go back to what you were saying is the other thing. Then when you went on the other side of that, you get to prove I'm like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So fuck if you like that, I'm like that. I showed you the first time.
Yeah. Now that edge is gone.
That's crazy.
It's not even like really a conversation anymore. It's really about like who wants him more at that point. Cause there's no like.
Ooh, so you think he didn't want it then? Because again, now to go back to this because we talk
I'm
about
not
this fight.
saying he didn't want it.
But I'm just saying this because not to cut you off. Now I'm asking this to ask. I'm saying this to ask this. Malak, the fight was a unanimous decision, which means again, it wasn't no point. Did you low key technique? So again, like you're saying, he clearly might just be better dude then.
For sure. For sure up for.
And then you with the loss, he had to have wanted it more this time too. Because again, you got every reason to beat this nigga. You're supposed to be better.
Yeah.
He knocked you out.
Yeah.
That nigga's sick right now, bro.
Bro, he's gotta be.
He got on camera and said, I'm gonna prove to this nigga who he was. I was beating his ass, all this other shit.
He said that?
Yes, on the pivot. He said it. The shit came out earlier this week.
He said that on the podcast?
Yes. Unanimous decision.
I didn't know he did all that, bro.
That's crazy, bro. I was
That's not good.
sick.
Sick, not good.
Come on, man. What? Come on, man.
I didn't know bro was on the pivot.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it either.
Come on. I had watched it earlier this week. It got me charged up. But it's when I saw it, I was just sitting there and I said, something about that is just not sitting right with me. He beat you. He knocked you the fuck out.
Yeah.
And it kept echoing those what you said. We were sitting there in the bars. He said, "Yeah, Usman, you know he but Edwards is good as fuck." Yo, you was there, wasn't you?
When he got kicked?
Yeah.
I don't think I was there.
You wasn't there?
I don't
Damn,
think so.
do you remember who was with us?
Yeah, it was your homie. He was from Glendale or something.
Oh, my boy, Josh. It was Josh. Shout out Josh. It was Josh and Isaiah.
Yeah.
And Zeke go, yeah, I think he can beat Edwards though. And then at the end of the fight though, he did some technical ass shit. It was like 22 seconds left. The nigga did like a switch. He switched stances and kicked the nigga. Like it was literally like Malak, like the nigga just running and just threw the ball. Fadeaway jump shot, like
Clutch.
literally clutch. Like how you get it? That's what I'm saying. Like a clutch knockout like that is crazy. That's some shit like in the video game. You like, well, I gotta get it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It's like a lot of it's skill, a lot of it's just like instinct. You feel me? I think that knockout was probably more like instinct, if anything. Yeah.
Pair with the skill though too.
Oh, I mean, for sure, pair with skill, but that was instinct.
Even that's
bro.
it. So he might just be the better one between.
Definitely up for debate at this point. Shit, nigga beat him 2 times in a row.
Now, if you could beat somebody on an individual basis like that 2 times in a row, and they so great like that, do you think that it mean that you one of the greatest, period, or you just great in comparison to that person? So again, Gilbert Arenas could bust Kobe ass, but was Gilbert Arenas one of the greatest? You give me type shit?
Yeah, but like personally, on a personal note, it depends on how you look at yourself, obviously, right? Like perception, you feel me? To like outside looking in, argument could be made, but it's like based on. I don't think it's based on enough. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's about longevity. I feel like it's about like productivity and like.
Oh, that's a bar. I feel it.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I love Gilbert, bro. Gilbert is literally like really like. Not a lot of people know Gilbert's like Loki, one of my favorite players like ever.
Bro, he had a stretch in 06.
Nigga, he was tripping. Like, that nigga had 3 nicknames, bro. That's all I gotta say about Gilbert Arenas. Niggas call him a bocce.
You think he got a bad rap?
A bad rap?
With the gun thing.
Oh, y'all just laid this one up perfect.
That's a bar too. He said laid it up. See how he threw that in?
Cause you already know who we finna get.
Laid it up. He talking bar. You don't want to drop a bar.
Come on.
I don't think he necessarily gotta. I mean, it definitely tarnished his image. But like, would I say he has a bad rap? I mean, yeah, probably. But to like certain people and shit. But I feel like with us, it's like. It's a little mistake that shit happened. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think he get healed to us now, just with whatever. How he's still doing his
yeah,
thing.
because he could have went a whole different route. You feel me? It was whack to see his career go the way it did, though.
Right.
Super whack.
Okay. Now, I love y'all because y'all teed that up motherfucking perfectly. It's actually crazy. You spoke on longevity. Y'all spoke on Gilbert Arenas. Tupac Morant. Both of those things are the sources of his issues. Lack of longevity. In a sensationalized generation, they ain't did shit, but they so hot that they could have elevated him to this point where he can get in this much trouble for some bullshit. And then as well, still being so talented, and then the bad rap dynamic with Gilbert Arenas, where I agree with you. Again, you can't get a bad rap for some shit that you do. Ever.
Yeah.
And I think Gilbert Arenas,
That's some like word of mouth shit. Like that happened.
Come on, yeah. And I think with Gilbert Arenas, I think what you could acknowledge that he acknowledges is he know what type of person he was to create the kind of controversy. So I think what I tee that up with, and just to say is like, overall, because I think with him, I think it's more of a situation of you gotta understand and realize like how important you are sometimes. Like sometimes you gotta realize and be bigger than the moment. He missing out on that. Same thing with Gilbert Arenas. I think if Gilbert Arenas allowed himself to be bigger than the moment, like how some people don't like how LeBron will, how Kobe made himself at the end, how KD do, I don't like that he do that shit. But again, you make yourself bigger than the situation in the moment, you're not allowing yourself to get consumed by momentary shit and shit that lacks longevity. Right? Being young, so to speak. You not young for that long, so to speak. When you think about it. And everybody teeing it up like, oh, well, he young and all this other shit, but it's like realistically like it's so much that he done put onto himself in this situation with so much talent. And it's like, do you think it's because of the lack of the longevity? Because again, they young, so they ain't got tenure around them, so to speak, mature minds? Or do you think that it's just, again, because you really just gotta be accountable for what you do and that nigga just on bullshit?
I feel like it's a little bit of both, but it's definitely like, you know, he's probably not in the best environment. You feel me?
Memphis, Tennessee is not the, no, you're right.
Yeah,
no.
He's putting himself in these like positions with these people, and like, you know, I think he's getting a little caught up in what's going on around him for whatever reason. Cause it's definitely like,
well, cause it's the generation. That's what young folk is on.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Granted, we young too, but again, people younger than us, like that NBA YoungBoy shit is real.
Yeah.
So to speak, not to blame NBA YoungBoy, but they love that nigga.
They really do. But yeah, I think it's definitely a mixture of both though. I feel like he gotta he's possibly still finding himself.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As an adult, as a man, as a fucking person. So he's gonna fall into certain traps and certain things and hang around certain crowds because he feels like in his mind he wants to be that for whatever the fuck reason. But it's like, bro, you
was supposed to be all NBA this year and then got suspended for like 6, 7, 8, 9 games, whatever, and now you missed out on like $28 million. And they got you on ESPN talking about, it wasn't my gun. Playing with guns, you're a grown ass man. Yeah.
it's just not good, bro.
Character, anybody else got to be able to say this on my boy? What do you think about the situation, Zeke?
No, I mean, Pat Beverly said something. Pat Beverly was like, used to rap music and stuff like that too. It was like the influence of the rap music. That's what Pat Beverly said. So it's like, it has a part to play. The environment you're in, people who you're around. You never know, like, he said he wants to take his. He said something like, "Oh, I have to find ways to take my stress out in different ways." So he could be stressed.
Nigga said, I got a pistol. I'm stressed out.
Right. So he probably could be in stress with some family issues and things like that. And he's a family.
Niggas asking him for money. You right.
Right.
They still hitting him up for bread and all that shit. You right.
Right. And he's a family-oriented person. So, I mean, family impacts him in a different way than it would other people. So, I mean, you never know. He probably doesn't have anybody to go to or turn to that he could truly trust in a sense, or someone who he could learn from in a certain way. So, yeah, I mean, it just all those things impact you.
To go back to him. So now, how he was just talking about the idea of the neuralizer. Did that show that would he benefit from a neuralizer, or will he benefit from continuing to learn from what he knows? Right? That's
Say that one more time.
would Ja Morant benefit from the neuralizer, as we talked about, in the 20s, 23 years old, probably the biggest fuck up of his life. Because again, he didn't fuck up necessarily in a negative way to harm himself, but he fucked up a bag. A big ass bag.
Because imagine if he had that thing and he did it in front of all the cameras and then everybody.
I don't think it's gonna be that big.
Everybody that saw
he lose money by not being all NBA.
If everybody else forgot,
I still feel like he could still be.
He gonna be.
Well,
right.
he's gonna be fine. I'm not saying he's not gonna be fine, but again, what I mean is, even momentarily, like that money that you gonna spend up, the money that you already spending up again, we seen a video of Ja Morant in the strip club with buku money everywhere. So again, you spending a lot of money. You taking care of your people. You doing your thing. When we look up and they get older, speaking on longevity, he's going to look up and be an older player, a retired player one day. And what do we hear all the talk about? Man, I blew some money at this point. I blew some money at that point. I missed out on this. I missed out on that. He's missing out on money by fucking up like this.
For sure.
So yes, because he got, I'm not saying he's fucked up. Yes, he got umpteen amount of millions, but again,
I think for
at 23,
it's best that he learned now than this.
I agree.
Later.
I agree.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like 23, they can tell him that to sit him down like, yo, you the face of the league. Like I think
that's really what they did.
You the face of the league.
It's like
as much as they love Luka and them, they don't be speaking English. Ja Morant is an American-born player.
Come on, no, for real. For real.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? They really, this the nigga that everybody like.
Yeah.
I know I'm supposed to stop. We're gonna stop saying nigga because you know it's a Black History. But this
Black History.
He said, you're right. That's crazy.
Niggas, as they say.
but he's a phase, bro. So it's like, bro, I think next year is when the contract kick in when he start making like $200 million, $230 million off the rookie max. So it's like, bro, it's either him or Zion. Zion injured all the time. And then Ja's like, bro, if you can just stay clean, you Iverson of this generation.
Ain't that crazy? And they were drafted in the same.
You are the Iverson of this generation.
Same draft class,
That's
right?
what?
Yeah, same draft class.
Yeah, because Zion went one. You're right. Zion went one, and then Ja went two.
So come on, bro. You same draft class. One of y'all can't stay on the court, and he hurt all the time, and the other nigga's an idiot. That's the crazy part. This
like
nigga
we finally had, you know what the NBA was like. We finally have it, like right here, like this.
A mini Shaq and another AI.
And another,
an AI D Rose Westbrook fused child, and this nigga's a dumbass.
But as soon as Zion can get healthy, oh, it's done.
Yeah, it's over.
It's finished, bro. It's finished.
No, I think he go learn a lot from this. I feel like it already changed.
It just really like I don't want to say the wrong word. It just really hurts because he's so young, and in this day and age, everybody once you're wrong,
you wrong forever.
Scrutinize you forever.
You right.
And ever. And imagine him as soon as shit was probably going all good. Then when shit all go bad, now it's even motherfuckers you thought that was close to you. Like, nigga, I told you not to.
Come on.
And you like, bro, you was in the club with me. You was.
Man, what?
He was getting twerked on.
Bro, we did that, bro. And then all of a sudden you see photos come out of him in the strip club. I'm like, oh, now that's all this shit starts to come out. Like, bro,
yeah,
come
that
on,
was
man.
fucked up. I ain't gonna lie, that was fucked up.
You know what it is? I don't want to like this might be crazy, but you know how like I kind of like symbolize that shit to how like when they like shot like R.P. Trayvon, they're like, well, he was also trying to build the criminal record after you get, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what does that have to do with his ass getting shot at a young age.
Bro.
But the nigga and what's his name? Mike Brown. You know what I'm saying? Oh, when he was at the grocery store, I'm like, bro, what does that have to do with him getting just shot?
Fact.
Point blank.
I know what you're saying.
What does that have to do? But
what does him have to do?
We might have to justify this later. And come on, bro. It's just always
he was in there. We know he was.
Yeah, for niggas, it just comes down crazy.
Yeah, it's always something else to add on to.
Black man.
Fact. Black history.
Black history. Black history.
No, that's real as hell, man. Oh, you finna leave? Yeah, I bet you finna leave. Yeah, no, we need to talk about Russell Westbrook and how you hating, but the Warriors.
You're wild, bro.
But the Warriors done lost 11 straight road games.
The article in the group chat.
Wow.
And then moments like this, like you kind of teetering in between your greatness and your lateness. You mean to be late to the party or being great in the party, so to speak. And I think like when it comes down to it, all of the things that you've learned so far to this point really make you capable of that. Granted, again, what you're talking about is the ability to possibly go back to you. When you could forget things, you could tap into untapped potential. Because missed opportunities is what comes from regret. You feel me? So I think like when it comes down to it, it's all about what it is you believe that you're capable of. If you believe that you're more capable by having to go back, or if you believe that you're just as capable going forward. So I don't know. I feel like kind of dually for me, I might want to go forward because I think to an extent, if you can just go forward and do your thing, you're going to forget about that shit anyway if you, again, get your greatness instead of be worried about your lateness, realistically. So I think like right now I kind of wouldn't want to forget nothing because I know too much. You feel me? Like, and I also know that it's my responsibility. Like it's on me to be accountable to myself whether or not I'm gonna be successful in the manner that I believe success is, or in the world, you know, evaluationary success, man, I don't know if that's really a word, but like, you feel me, like looking at it like that, like how people evaluate success and what success is, like it's on me duly to also be able to have that while also creating and understanding what success really means to myself. And I think like by sometimes wanting to go back, you could eliminate that, because then you just want to go back and start all over, but again, you gonna go pick up a whole bunch of new habits and shit like that, because even when you go back to there and forget, you also gonna make yourself forget all of the other shit that you learned about yourself that you now is good at. So I think that's, I don't know, it's interesting. It's tough. What you think?
Where that you're in the learning process in this life instead of a stagnant process. So it's a continual motion that you have to have and apply to yourself on a daily, on a nightly, to where you could not rely on seeing the success, but understanding that you're moving towards what you feel is success. So, you know, being in a learning mindset and a learning flow on a daily is always good, because when you take yourself back, you start to appreciate everything external. You start to appreciate the external more than, you know, I'll say over loving external things, because we get into loving external things instead of, you know, loving the within, because, you know, the external relationships that we have with everything, the cameras, phones, just people and everything like that, it's supposed to be appreciated first, and then with time you could grow into a loving phase. So I feel like the learning process is the appreciation, finding that appreciation for each phase in life, and then finding the love in each phase in life. So that's
because it'd be so devoid of love. Not to cut you off, don't forget what you were trying to say. It'd be so devoid of love and so many other facets of life though. Outside of like, you'll have like one thing, or like love, for example. That may be the only area in your life where love really exists, or that passionate love exists. But again, it'd be like, do people have love for the things that they do? Do people have love for the people in their life outside of actual intimate kind of love like that? So that's real.
When we were kids, it's like you always expressed your childhood. You always expressed that in so many different ways, and it's like you were always in a learning phase, because you're at school, You know, you mandatory had to learn 5 days out the week. Then the 2 days on the weekend you had to do homework and stuff like that. But then you could also be hooping, so you're still like you were always learning. Then you start to grow, and then you feel like, oh, this is all knowing, because a lot of things are getting slapped on you instead of you learning about those things. Like taxes get slapped on you, but you never learned about it. So it's like that stuff takes away your inner childhood. Like taxes get slapped on you. Oh, you got to get a job now. Oh, you got to do this. So like it takes away your inner child in a sense, because you feel like you have so many different responsibilities, but your access to that child is always in a learning state. So if you don't know about certain things, you just have to continue to just, let me take my time out and actually figure out what it is I have to do to get to the higher that I feel like is next. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that.
That higher connection to self.
Right.
No, that's real. It's tough a lot of times. I think sometimes we get so caught up in how much we prove that we gotta know, right? And I think within that, one, it turn off a lot of people, because it then turn into a competition. Everybody want to compete about how much they know.
Right.
Right. Then it's a brilliant off, so to speak. Everybody want to prove how brilliant they are, how smart they are. And again, I think it cuts people off to being willing to learn, so to speak, from others, because again, like when you feeling like you got more to prove with your understanding than you got to gain from your communication with others, I think you kind of cut yourself off, which is crazy that you said that.
Right. That's why I feel like we like together. Like it's a thing. It's like, man, we really inspire each other so much, but then we hate on each other so much, because it's like we inspire each other by like fashion. That's why we always had to wear something nice when we go to school. You don't want to be the one to get down, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to be the one that the female like they on your head. So it's like we inspire each other all the time about, you know, clothing, just how we speak. We always mimic each other. We always like.
Right, how many clothing trends probably came out of somebody reacting to somebody else diss, so to speak? Again, I get what you're saying.